I didn't think I was any less capable of making decisions and doing positive work than anyone, regardless of gender. I didn't think that because I was female that I was supposed to somehow get stupid.
I woke up today at 3 p.m. with something on my chest, so that means it has to come out of my mouth, okay? And I had this thought, but I didn't want to offend anyone, because despite what people think, I don't like to pick on a certain group of people. It's just my thoughts end up expanding and I can't keep it in. So the name of this video is Eve was the first daughter, because I wanted to expand on the idea that Eve, on her own volition, ate the apple, which was her own thought, and for that she's been punished until now, basically. And essentially we've been punished as women. And I want to not discourage women, because I've been seeing a lot of women talk about how feminism ruined us. And I'm not a feminist, so I do want to get that out there. I'm not a feminist, but I do want people to know we should never talk about what certain women did to survive and what certain women, what systems they dismantle in a wrong way, because we'll never live in those systems. I will never be more grateful than to be where I'm at and who I am right now. Now that that's out the way, let's get to it, okay? So when I say that Eve was punished for thinking, I feel like a lot of women now are punished for thinking, especially when it comes to being the deep thinker one. Or I'm a Debbie Downer. I don't give a fuck, honestly, because you see me coming and you know what's up. I feel like when people think, I said this one time, either I think too much or y'all don't think enough. I really don't give a fuck. Either one, but I feel like two things can be true at once. So I'm going to teach you how to not run from your thinking and how you can become the best version of yourself in expanding your mind, like Eve. Because who knows? The apple might have freed her. We don't know what type of nigga Adam was.
Yes. Are you aware that you must exit the simulation through Victory headquarters every day and return only for your allotted number of hours?
Yes. It's you all the time. Can't you see? I long to be with you all the time. Can't you see?
You think because of instinct, and what you do with that instinct is up to you, but we've also been taught how to suppress it. Especially when I see videos of women in religion, when they say keep, sweet, pray, obey, things like that, things like you only have to, don't question when you hear stuff like that. And when you hear stuff like, because I've always been an outlier when it comes to not questioning things, because I have to know, it almost can get aggravating at times. But I want you to know the reason you think is instinct. It's biblical to sit there and think, because Eve, these may seem like elementary questions, but I need y'all to really dig, because it starts y'all pulling that thread. It starts y'all pulling that yarn. And once y'all start pulling that yarn, who knows what you can create with the new ball of yarn you done unraveled. Be a hard one. How does it feel when you start thinking? Okay, it can vary. You can be angry, you can be sad, you can almost feel like the world is against you when you start thinking. You can almost feel like you're being odd. It almost feels like you stepping out of your body sometimes and you're not the one thinking these thoughts. But it's okay. It's supposed to feel like that. It's supposed to feel weird, because not many people are doing it. Real shit. Not many people are thinking. Not many people are sitting here putting ass to brain. No, most people are putting ass on their heads. Not many people are sitting here going through the motions of a thought thread. Not many people know how to really get into the root of why they feel a way. Once you start that feeling of how do I feel like this? Why do I feel like this after thinking this way? You can't go back. And I'm sorry to tell you, it's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? But I don't shit on women who put their head in the sand. And I think that's the difference between me and everybody else. Yes, it's very serious to me, but I don't shit on them because I can get how that can feel, and I don't blame them. But what I won't do is coddle you. You know what type of matrix we're living in, but you're choosing to put your head in your sand. That's your choice, but don't belittle me or say I'm doing this, I'm doing that, because I choose to speak and I choose to use my thoughts for how I want to use them. Get out the fucking way.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
Now the next thing, why thinking is helpful. Right now, this seems crazy. It's just me, my Red Bull, and my thoughts against the world sometimes. And I realize that thinking is helpful because it creates new ideas. And in creating new ideas, you create new people. And in create new people, you create new rules to live by, or no rules at all. I always said nothing is new, and I find comfort in that. I wrote it in my book, which is for $20 on Amazon. But also, I feel like in saying that, you can't get lost in the cycle of knowing everything will come back around, because I feel like in knowing that nothing is new, you feel like you can't create new thoughts. And in those thoughts leaving you, and in those thoughts, you creating those thoughts, you have to be able to know that you're creating a new world. So the idea might not be new, but they weren't ready for it when it was volleyed to them. And I just think it's important to keep forming your own opinion and not being shunned for being the one that's thinking. A lot of people I've seen this group think, and I think we need to chop it up a little bit. And if you feel like you can never say nothing about around the people you're around that's deeper than a fucking puddle, you need to get from around them.
I think it just becomes the job no one wants to do. You know, everybody knows about it. It's well known. It's well understood by black women and black men. And yet, nobody is supposed to speak about it publicly. I did so. And I think that that was, you know, sort of the significant departure.
And you were punished.
And I was punished for that, yes. Yes, I was punished. That's true. Still being punished, actually, I think.
Now we're at how to think. I don't want to scare y'all, but being able to have a coherent thought is a blessing. In the times that we're in, being able to finish a sentence is a blessing. I call it how I see it, okay? But I can't tell you how to think. And I know what y'all thinking. What? Like, oh my God. But no, you have to have that bug in you. You have to want to do it. A lot of y'all slapping the shit out of y'all teachers, so I can't be the one to do it. I can't be the one. I have to put the responsibility on you. I know a lot of y'all don't really get that, but I'm saving your life by telling you it's your responsibility to fill your mind. I can't hold your hand. Watching this video is cool. What you gonna do? You have to covet your thoughts. You know, like, I'm kind of protective over this. I want to possess this, you know? Let me go. Let me look it up. Yeah. Yearn to possess or have. You have to yearn for your thoughts. Don't get caught up in them, but possess them. You have to command them. When your thoughts sit there and try to make you into something, you have to sit on them and learn them. I'm not saying be a stick in the mud, or I'm not saying show favoritism to one way of thinking or be biased. But when it comes to coveting and commanding your thoughts, nobody can sway you unless they have proof or they got a damn good argument. Even then, you still need to be like, I understand you, I get you, but I'm here. Because when it comes down to it in the Bible and this thumping that we're feeling and that we're seeing, Adam trying to sway Eve. That's all it is. These men are telling us not to eat the fruit of knowledge, and I can't abide by that. I'm sorry. Call me a devilish whore if you want, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
25 years ago, there was someone in this organization who argued that the role of women was to wear long African dresses, to organize cocktail parties, and to convince rich men to donate money to the organization. And this particular person actually came in and dismantled the whole structure that we had because he felt that the women had too much power.
And last but not least, when the people around you cannot gel with you and the people are not there for you to grow, sometimes you have to cut them off. The people that's saying you're doing too much, I don't ever feel like nobody doing too much. I just think they don't have enough space to expand. It's too much for that space. They need to expand. Sometimes you got to cut them off. And if you can't cut them off, but in this YouTube video, you have somebody in your head that you're thinking of that will literally wrap the snake around your throat to not eat the apple. If that apple is knowledge and you have somebody trying to tell you to stop eating that apple, cut them off.
You know, and I just need releasing from this, you know, like, I gotta release myself, I gotta do the work on it, I don't know how to, blah, blah, blah. He goes, right, he goes, Tom, but yeah, he goes, do you remember the floods? When Oxford, he goes, yeah, the floods, do you remember the floods? So, yeah, he goes, do you remember that boy who got his foot stuck in a grate and the river kept rising, and he kept rising, and he kept rising, and eventually they tried to get him out, but he drowned. Yeah. He goes, well, that wouldn't have happened to me. Right? He goes, do you want to know why? I went, yeah, sure. He goes, because I'd have said, cut it off. Nah. Tom, what I'm trying to say is, right? What I'm trying to say is, son, is sometimes, yeah, you've got to cut a little piece of yourself off, yeah, no matter how much it hurts, in order to grow, yeah, in order to move on.
In that movie, Don't Worry, Darling, when she's laying on that bed and she finally realizes that they've taken away her ability to choose. When y'all take away that ability to choose, that is the problem. I'm not saying Eve was right, but she made the choice to eat the apple. I've been showing you flashes. That's how easy it is to control you in this video of what happens when you take away your ability to choose. You have a choice to make, and is it going to be the right one? You never know, but it's yours.
Because often to speak out about difficult issues is to be ostracized, is to be criticized. But I think that there are some black women, including myself, who feel that speaking truth to power is far, far, far more valuable than bowing and taking it.